Let's talk a little bit about putting today. So putting is one of the hardest parts of the game for many people. It is completely different than anything else that we do. And honestly, technique matters the least in this part of the game. Right? Speed and line are all that matters on your putts. And your speed is going to determine a lot of your line. But you need to be able to start your ball on your line consistently. Doesn't matter if you're setting up real close to the ball and you kind of pull it down your line, or you take Jack, one of the best to ever play the game, one of the best putters to ever play. He putted with his glove on and he would be real open and real underneath the ball, and he kind of popped it, to be honest, but he did it the same way every time. So that's what matters most, right? So I've got my eye line mirror down. My line is straight to the middle of that hole. I'm trying to work pretty square in my setup. All right, and then my eyes are going to be on the inner half of this golf ball, just inside of that black line, and that's where I want it to be every time. So once your setup is consistent, you've got your line, straight up this mat, because we know it's going to be a straight putt. And then all I have to do is return the club face to square, roll it up my line right into the middle. Right? You can stand here all day because I know that line goes straight up the middle. I can trust it. I know that I can return this club face to square, and I can trust it. And I can work on setting up consistently so that I know when I get out on the golf course that my setup's going to be the same, that I've picked my line, and that I'm going to hit my line. Right? Boom. Every time. And it doesn't matter. You don't need one of these mirrors. I've got this 4-foot ruler. Does the same thing. You can take a marker, draw a line right down the middle of this, pop a chalk line. Doesn't matter. Whatever you do, just make sure that you've got a straight line that you're going to roll this ball up. And then make sure that you're setting up consistently. Because so long as I know that my setup's consistent, that I've picked the line that I want the ball to start on, I can start it up that line. Does that mean they're all going to go in? No, of course not. Sometimes you might hit one a little harder, sometimes you might hit it a little softer. Sometimes you read too much break, sometimes you don't read enough. But if you know that every time you're going to hit the same line, it's going to give you a lot more confidence. Makes the short putts really easy, makes the long putts easier than they used to be. If you know every time that when you set up over a putt, it's going to start right where you intended it to, it really frees you up to make a good, confident stroke, which is what matters the most in putting.